May 25th, 2013. My cell phone rings. Hello, Saquon. This is Lynn down at the Salt Lake County Health Department. I need you to come in today and talk to me. That's strange. I had gone through this so many times before that I knew it was to discuss my test results, but this was the first time that they had called and wanted to have a face-to-face meeting about it. It started off as the usual. I need to know the names and telephone numbers of every person you've had sexual contact with over the past 6 months because your chlamydia came back positive. Pause. But I also need to know the names and telephone numbers of every person you have had sexual contact with over the past year because you are also HIV positive. Boom. Cognitive schema crash. My ears begin to ring like the shell shock of a close-range grenade blast. My mouth feels like it is filling up with gritty sand, the kind that crunches in between your teeth, and no matter how many times you try, it never fully rinses clean. Do you know who you may have gotten it from? Lynn's voice catches my attention before I am lost entirely in this sudden foggy haze. Of course I do. My boyfriend has it. But he also told me that his viral load wasn't high enough to infect anybody. The reality of that statement set in when she asked me his name. His name is Lee, I said. Oh, Lee M. She replied, yeah, we hear his name quite a bit around here. Wow. On the outside, there was nothing I could say to that. But on the inside, I have the foolish ability to ignore what is really going on and tell myself that everything's going to be all right, that my partner's going to be there by my side to help me through this. And that thought gave me enough strength to stand up and walk out of the health department doors. But no level of foolishness could prepare me for the upcoming journey. And having to do it alone, tucked away, and completely isolated, with no partner by my side to help me through shit. Like when I started taking my first round of antiretroviral medications, which had a side effect of turning the whites of my eyes yellow. And my stomach would hurt so bad that I had to take them at bedtime. He only stayed by my side to help me through it one single solitary night. The only help he really offered was when he asked me why I was so upset about it because he had given me a gift. A gift. I don't think I would call it a gift, not being able to look anyone in the eye for 5 long years because my fucking eyes are yellow. Then after we break up, on one hand, I yearn for someone to ask me on a date. But on the other hand, I'm so scared to say yes because I am now diseased. And the fear of disclosing and being rejected is too fucking paralyzing to even comprehend. I wouldn't call that emotional withering a gift, you asshole. Do you remember the never-ending story? Well, my world resembled the villain, with the black rolling clouds of the nothing descending upon me. Darkness set in, laughter ceased, my smile was laid to rest, and my entire sense of self crumbled like the ash of a burnt-out cigarette. HIV stands for Human Immunodeficiency Virus, but to me it stood for no longer human, immune to happiness, and now completely valueless. HIV. Horrified, invaded, and vexed. Hung up, irreversible and vicious, hostile, infected, and vanquished. HIV. The only thing I felt I had left to offer was given horizontally. pushing me towards insanity, further tainting my vulnerability. HIV, hidden, isolated, and victimized. HIV. I lived in this self-made prison for the first 4 years. I was ashamed of who I was. The small handful of times that I did crack open my secret, I was met with reactions based in fear. Some expressed in tears, others expressed in disgust. I was actually told one time that you only get HIV if you're a whore or a junkie, so which one was I? I had some friends tell me how sad they were because I was going to die, while others became too afraid to even shake my hand. I was living my life feeling as though I had a scarlet letter on my chest. Well, 3 letters. My daughter tried to tell me, "Mom, it's just like someone who has diabetes. As long as they take care of themselves, it's just something they have and it's no big deal." Wow, no big deal? Making those words my reality seems so far away. Suddenly, all of my friends who had committed suicide over the years, my anger towards them melted away, replaced by a sense of understanding and a deep-seated hurt to want to join them. Then the day came when I met a real knight in shining armor of sorts. Front row, gray shorts, sneakers. After 2 successful dates, I knew it was time. Terrified of getting the same old reaction, but having a responsibility as a human being, I disclosed. Now I want to let you know, you cannot get it from me because I'm taking medications that make me undetectable, which it means it's untransmittable. But I'm HIV positive. I felt my face flush red and started grinding my teeth to stop myself from crying, just in case he did what most others chose to do. And I will never forget the feeling it gave me to hear the words, "I don't care if you have HIV, just as long as I get to have you." Wow. Someone who saw me. And a twinge of that old feeling began to rise within me, that feeling of being an actual person and a woman again.
Yeah.
The ringing in my ears stopped, but unfortunately the self-loathing did not. For the next 2 years, he valiantly fought the battle with me, begging me to change sides and to fight for myself instead of against myself. Babe, stop letting HIV be who you are and let it be a part of who you are, because you are amazing.
Hell yeah.
Don't be selfish with your story. You can save people's lives, people who are just as broken as you. Broken. Living in shame as a closet IV drug user who has HIV and a prison record? I ain't trying to save nobody. I can't even save myself. So I'll just stay curled up in this needle, where I'm comfortable keeping to myself. It's the only place I feel safe, hidden in isolation. But then the moment came where, after spending 6 hours in the bathroom and the only vein I could hit was in my forehead, I had a light bulb moment. This isn't serving me anymore. Maybe I should get some help and try something different. So I put the needle down, surrendered my will to the universe, and was led to the new path of recovery. At the time, trying something different only meant not using drugs. I had no idea that clearing that mental fog would lead me to an unusual and unfamiliar place. A place where my HIV completely changed its meaning. HIV. A place where I no longer live in humiliation, but in humility. I no longer feel irrational, but irreplaceable.
Yes. You're hot as hell.
A place where I am no longer a victim, I am a vixen.
Yes, girl. Yes.
HIV. Today the H stands for hope, honesty, happiness. I am a heroine. With an E, folks. Heroine with an E. The I stands for seeing my importance, giving mankind inspiration, and being in tune with my purpose. I am incredible.
Yes, you are.
And the V stands for harnessing a vision, knowing I'm valuable, and for standing up and living vertically. I am victorious.
Yes.
That wondrous place that I had fallen into, that place was the beautiful ocean of self-love. And the tidal wave that crashed down upon me and pulled me into that ocean was the journey of self-acceptance. Once I realized that I could both open my eyes and breathe underwater, I saw that we all are mermaids living in oceans of self-love. Yet some of us have our eyes closed. Some of us have stopped breathing. And some of us have beached ourselves entirely, like I once had. Being me no longer smells like the bottom of a New York City dumpster or the contents of a colostomy bag. Being me now smells like fresh spring mountain air at 6 a.m.
You ain't up at 6 a.m.
Being me no longer feels like the cold, hard skin of a body lying in a coffin at an open casket viewing. Being me now feels like freshly fluffed puppy fur the day after a bath. Being me no longer sounds like the scared, desperate cries of a lost 3-year-old who has been separated from their mother. Being me now sounds like perfectly played piano keys, baby laughter, and true love's whispers all wrapped up into one. Being me no longer looks like an old empty glass with dried, crusty remains of rotten milk stuck to the sides. You know, the glass where you're leaning more towards just throwing it out rather than washing it. Being me now looks like a summer bonfire set against a desert sunset. To the one who so carelessly bestowed me with this gift, I want to thank you for showing me the type of person I never want to be. I am going to take this gift and transform it into a weapon of change. So I stand before you all today, finally seeing my yellow brick road. My diagnosis no longer defines me.
Yes.
I have found my voice, and I am using it to share my story in hopes to save people just as broken as I once was, not so long ago. I stand before you all today, accepting my unicorn horn, that is HIV. Loving my mermaid tail, that is me. And playfully swimming in my ocean of self-love. I stand before you all today, ripping open my shirt to reveal the hidden S on my chest.
Yeah.
And I'm no longer writing my story in isolation.
Yeah.